Hey guys, and welcome to this week's live training. So today I have actually taken along on the euro dollar. I'll bring the account up shortly, and the reason for my position was because I actually see the market have the potential to run even all the way up until the 1.1400 region over here. But I'm actually looking to just take my first target off at these highs. So basically the reason I entered the position was because we came very close to the first level of support over here, which we actually anticipated on the Sunday market outlook. Personally, I was looking for price to drop all the way down over here, but it would seem that price obviously opted for this zone over here. So also, if we look at it, we have very nice bullish divergence as well, which suggests that we could see the market giving us a bit of a run further to the upside. So overall target could be these highs over here. However, if I go over into my intraday time frames, you guys can see that we actually took a position on the basis that we had the market break the pivot level, come to retest it with this beautiful hammer type formation over here. And then we had a very nice bullish candle, bullish engulfing candlestick pattern, and then a slight pullback, and currently we're kind of just hovering around this particular region. So at the moment, if I go over into the hourly time frame, you guys can see that we have the moving averages coming in now, acting as dynamic support, and we're kind of having price just hover around this region over here. And we did have some news coming out for the euro, which was all good. And on that basis, obviously, I also looked for the movement to go further up. But as it stands, guys, I'm just looking to take my profit around these highs over here. So bear in mind that this is not necessarily going to be much of a swing trade. So perhaps I can move the stop loss ever so slightly to a point where we could perhaps even target 50 pips, which wouldn't be too bad. A nice 2% return. I'll bring the account up for you guys in a second, after just setting that up. Okay, let me just do that quickly. Okay, so as you guys can see, we're running in a bit of a negative at the moment, about $33 negative. And the thing is, the market does in fact have the capacity to still roll over, but as you can see, our stops are set in place. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go ahead and increase our target at 50. Um, so let's just do that quickly. There we go. So we have a bigger target level. We're risking 25 pips to take out 50 pips. A beautiful 1:2 risk to reward. You'll notice, guys, that I only have one unit in, and that is because I only managed to get one unit in. But nevertheless, we can obviously still see how far we can run it up. So if we were to take profit all the way up over here, which will be a very nice return, in fact, um, it would be nice to have a second unit in. But be that as it may, I find that this particular trade does have the potential to give us a fairly decent run to the upside. And if it rolls over, then so be it. We cut our losses and we move on forward. But I don't necessarily see the market rolling over to a point where I won't most probably get another position in, because just consulting with my other charts off screen, we have we have relatively good positive momentum in the background, and gradually the market is making higher highs and higher lows, which suggests that we do have the capacity to at least test these highs over here. Now, with all that being said, guys, if I was to go ahead and draw in this pattern over here, you guys can see that we have a very, very decent falling wedge pattern. And obviously I can do it a lot neater than what I just did it now. So from the most recent point, you connect these lows and these highs over here, then you can see we have a relatively good descending channel, which is a very strong bullish signal. Um, and not only that, we have the descending channel running towards our key support level that we found on the daily time frame. And if I was to go ahead and kind of look at it from a bigger perspective and connect these lows over here, what you guys will see is that we have a very sharp falling wedge type pattern as well that the market broke out of quite nicely. So all of these factors is taken into consideration, that suggests that we could see the market running all the way up. And usually, what we can also see is the market running to the beginning of the corrective pattern over here, which is about 100 pips profit, which is not a bad return, but we're going to keep it at 50 for the video's sake, because I don't want to keep this position in the whole day and then we end up creating another hour-long video and end up just taking a break even. So yeah, so one of the key things that we look for is just to take out these highs, uh, because be mindful, guys, that when you're trading with the overall trend of the market, in order for a bullish market to be confirmed as a bullish market, it has to break highs. And so, as you guys can see, we broke these minor high points over here. And the next key high point is this one over here. And the reason this is a key high point is because it's been a relatively strong level in the past as well. So it would make sense for the market to kind of make its way all the way up till this point over here. And I suspect that we could see a bit of stalling around this region. But that could also mean that it could easily just stall to break further up to take out the overall high on the intraday time frame. So that's my thoughts with regards to the euro dollar. And as you guys can see, I'll just bring the account up one last time. You guys can see that we are currently running in a $35 negative. My lot sizes on this is a lot smaller than I usually go in, purely because of the fact that although this setup um, was valid, I got in slightly later than I would like to have gotten in, and so I just reduced the lot size as to minimize the risk. But if we take out our target over here, then it will be a substantial profit and a good contribution to the overall account value. So that's me for now. I will go ahead and press pause, and I'll come back as soon as we have something to report. Okay, guys. So as you guys can see, we broke out of this range here, and we're starting to run quite well into the green. So let me just go ahead and bring the account up. We're not up by much. We're up about 71 dollars, and gradually making some slow progress, but progress nonetheless. So we're quite far from our target, but I think what I'll do in the interim is just hold on to the position as is, and we will obviously have to go ahead and monitor it as the market makes its way towards our target level, and then obviously just manage the position as and when we see any signals that could suggest, the market potentially wanting to roll over, by which I will then have to go ahead and adjust my stop loss and either reduce it by cutting it around this region over here or moving straight away to break even. But as it stands, the trade is starting to work out quite nicely. It's just a case of waiting and seeing how we are going to be running from here on out. So a nice break above this high over here, and now it's just a case of waiting and seeing if we can continue with this surge of momentum to the upside. So I'll just go ahead and press pause for now. Hey guys, just back, and looks like we are starting to build quite a little bit of momentum in terms of the position that we took, and we're currently just around this region over here. So the question is, does this market have the capacity to run all the way? So what I'll do is I'll just bring the account over, and you guys can see we're running just about 170 thereabout, and the question that we're facing now is, what do we do? Do I move to break even? Do I reduce the stop? And so what I think I will do is I will actually go ahead and move to break even. I'm actually thinking about putting the stop loss below over here, but then it will just secure us about 20 pips, and it's so easily the market can roll over, give us a deeper retracement, and then just nip us out to eventually run all the way to the top. So I think the safest option is going to be to move over to break even. So let's go ahead and do that off screen. Okay, so there we go. So our entry price was at 12.97.8, and so we move to break even over now. So all risk is off the table, and we just have to wait and see how this particular trade is going to run, and if we're going to run all the way to the target point. But for the most part, guys, I think this is one of those trades that it would have been nice to have a couple more units in, but at the same time, I find that overall the analysis is working out quite well. We had positive news coming out for the euro, and we have a ton of positive momentum backing this move to the upside. So it's just a case of waiting and seeing how this particular candle is gonna, or sorry, how the hourly candlestick is gonna close, and that is going to be within the next 12 minutes. Now it's very likely that the next candle might want to blip up a bit and then kind of reverse, considering the fact that we never really had a true pullback. But if we go into the lower time frames, we can actually see that the market did in fact give us a pullback, and that could support the fact that the market has the capacity to run all the way to the upside. Um, so are we going to see the market hit our target? Let's wait and see. As you will remember, I did move our take profit further up. So this was our initial target point. So we would have closed the position over here, but we opted to target a higher level of 50 pips on this particular trade, which means we still have some work to do. We're not out of the clear just yet. Although we're running very, very comfortably in the green, there's nothing keeping the market from just rolling over. So it's just a case of waiting and seeing how this trade is going to play out. For now, let me go ahead and press pause, and I'll come back as soon as we have something to report. Hey guys, just back, and looks like we're actually been taken out on our target. So 50 pips hit, and you can see that it just hit us, and it's pulling back a little bit. But I do suspect that it does have the capacity to run a lot further. But let me go ahead and take a screenshot of the account. I actually was not at my PC when the target was hit, but be that as it may. Let me just go ahead and get the screenshot taken so that you guys can actually see um, the actual position itself. Okay. Okay, so you guys can see that there we go. This is the trade that we've taken. It was about 11 o'clock this morning, and you can see that we had a 0.5, so it's a half a lot that we put in, and we managed to close off on a $249 return for the day, which is not too bad. It's not too bad at all, considering the fact that the market has moved quite smoothly in our anticipated direction. So as you guys can see, I'm not in any positions other than that. I'm not necessarily looking to trade anymore for the rest of the day. I think I'll just park it there for today, because we did what we needed to do. But for the most part, guys, I mean, at the end of the day, um, this is how we trade. We don't overtrade. We don't try to make massive returns. We always try to stay within our risk parameters, and essentially just take every trade as it comes. But if you guys enjoyed today's video, please consider sharing it with someone that you think may find value from this particular video. And if you have any questions, please feel free to drop them down in our comment section below. For those of you that haven't subscribed, I would encourage you to consider subscribing, and also hit the notification bell for any new content that we upload. So essentially, guys, I want to say thank you so much for taking the time to watch today's live trade. And yeah, like I said, I hope that you have an awesome day further. But for the most part, I look forward to chatting to you all soon. Up until next time, cheers and bye for now.